Sam O'Reilly with a Fight Talk podcast. Myself and Richie Gray back in the building. How are you, Richard?
Yep, good. Feel like it's been ages.
You know it's pissing down rain and you're wearing shorts.
I bought a jumper.
Yeah, but you're not wearing it.
It's warm here. I've been wrestling with Jax for the last 10 minutes.
You have. He's a fucking mental dog. We are joined today by... Is it Super Bantam, innit? Super Bantam.
Super Bantam.
English title challenger Ryan the Lion Walker is in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm all good, all good. It's been busy trading.
Good, mate.
Good night of boxing last night.
Yeah,
all good.
yeah. We're gonna talk about that. You and me were there last night. Richie couldn't make it.
Family duties, mate.
Family duties, got to be done. But yes, we're gonna start with the Goodwin show. First of all, let's talk about the venue. It has to be done. It's been mentioned after last week. Your first initial thoughts on it, Ryan?
This is a thing we do a lot now, isn't it? Talk about people's productions and their shows.
Yeah, because it's important, especially when small hall is...
We go on this a lot.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference, the production
It
on
does.
the show.
Yeah, it does. We talk about it every week, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a good little show, different to the normal York Hall, different kind of atmosphere, but the boxing was a good level of boxing, but the venue weren't the best, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I would say that because people pay for the tickets and they have to stand up. A lot
It
of
was
older people
strange, yeah.
were moaning about that.
So the ringside, I don't know how many seats, 100 maybe. Like maybe I'm being generous, maybe 70. It was sort of segregated, so you had like a barrier around the seats, and then just standing room only. There were no bleachers, as you know, like Brentwood, like, and even Grays has them. There was none of that. It was literally, it felt like an amateur show. That's exactly what it felt like. The venue was. It wasn't great, being honest. And I get the vibe from Steve Goodwin.
The first time he's used this venue.
They did it as a double last week and yesterday. That was booked in advance.
And he would have booked them in months ago.
I'm not. He did, and I'm not convinced he'll go back. Listen, I might be proven wrong.
He's smarter than that, isn't he? He'll know this. He ain't the kind of guy to do a shit show and think that was great. He'll go, do you know what? It didn't work.
But it doesn't work. I'll tell you the main reason it doesn't work. Steve has separated himself from the other small hall promoters with his production, like the screens. You expect more from him, and
I think that's what it is. You expect the big screen and
exactly.
If this come from one of them promoters that we've digged out in the past, we'd go, I feel like he's actually made improvements. It's not the best, but he's made improvements. Because it's Steve, it's a step back for Steve.
Yeah, it felt like a step back from Steve, and where he's going at the back end of this year, the shows he's got, they're all at York Hall, the good big shows. This felt like it's hard. Because there were two good fights on it. There was two really good 50-50 fights, which we'll come to obviously. But listen, he tried, innit? He tried something new.
To be honest, away from all the venue, the fights, the level of the fights, I think that was bang on.
Yeah, mate.
There's a lot of 50-50 fights. Even the away corners were winning.
Yeah.
So I think the boxing made up for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't go back there myself. And then again, when your friends put on it, I would have gone anyway because Jamani was on it. But yeah, Bradley Spencer kicked off the show against Poochie. He's a really young man, Bradley Spencer. He's out of fucking State of Mind Fitness in Hammersmith. Very young. He's improving. 21, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think
21.
Yeah, he's a young 21. He's got a fucking face of a 9-year-old, Bradley Spencer. Honestly, I was talking to him before, and he's such a lovely kid. But he looks about like 9.
Yeah, that's real young. He had a tough opponent as well.
He did, man.
Poochie,
yeah.
Poochie. I've seen Poochie before, right? I've seen him times where he's done for a 6-round fight. He'll sit on the back foot for 4 rounds, make sure he's behind, and then he'll think, you know what? I feel like he plays a game of I'm gonna get behind for 4 rounds and then try and win and finish him in the last 2. Like he purposely puts himself behind and then tries to knock him out. I've seen him before. And he's trying to punch his head off. And I was thinking, a couple more shots. I like Poochie.
Do you know what was weird? Where I was sat, right, and where they put the press table. Obviously, you know how it touches the ring. They put it right next to it. But mine, I was literally rubbing shoulders with the seconds in the away corner. I was that close. So I'm a matter of a metre away from the away corner instructions. And his corner, like, keep him honest. If he leaves that fucking arm down, put one on his chin, Louis. Like, it's hilarious. Like,
yeah.
Obviously they're there to give him the rounds, but
he knows his level as well, Poochie. I've seen him getting with boys as well that are way beyond his level, and he won't. They ain't the days where he's going to go. He'll be sensible.
100%.
He'll move about, be smart, and be not do anything silly. But when he's with someone, most of the time he's usually above who he's boxing. He plays the game and does what you say, like keep him honest and don't let him take liberties.
That's exactly it. Don't let him look like he's fucking mugging you off. Is basically what the instructions were.
Just be good at losing.
Yeah, that's what basically. It is, isn't it? Who did I say this to last night, Brooke? It's such a weird sport where. You've done your job well if you lose.
So I said this to you the other week. I don't know if I said it on the podcast or not. How many fights you had now?
I've had 8 fights now.
You've had 8 fights, right? I had 7. If I knew now I knew it at the time, but you don't know as much as you know it. When I was boxing, as what I know now, it could be completely different. You could literally be in the ring with your opponent, these away fighters, and say, "Can you slow down, please?" And they probably will. Whereas at the time, you're not thinking like that. You're thinking, he's going to throw a shot.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's trying to get through his rounds. He's trying to get through.
Funny enough, I had an opponent like that. You probably know him, Jamie Spate.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me during the fight, and he was basically saying, "Yep, throw your jab."
He's coaching.
Since I missed him, like,
it to me.
be careful.
Calm down.
Yeah, he did that.
That's Jamie Spate, man. And he had one last night. It was up there with the most. I'm going to be careful how I word this, because I love Jamie Spate. John Cole was the trainer of the guy that he boxed as a debutant called Frankie Holly. And all I'll say is I know that they all know each other very well. It was a very controlled fight. That's all I'll say.
That's what I took of it as well. There weren't much aggression. They weren't trying to kill each other.
And Jamie did his role.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That was, and that can be a problem sometimes, because Frankie Phillips would have sold tickets last night. Did they come to see him have a move about, which is all it could be classed as?
The thing is, it's hard to get it right though. It's really hard to get it right with these things. Like, you can try and kill an opponent.
You got to
remember, like we just discussed,
well.
sometimes you try and kill an opponent.
Yeah.
You try and kill him. But my debut, I was not calm. I was like, Alec Wilkie, stay calm. Yeah, stay calm. 2.5 minutes later, it was over.
Yeah.
Because I just steamed in. My arms were going left, right, centre, fucking everywhere. Like, it's very hard to get it right, I think.
Yeah, there's a happy medium somewhere. Listen, it's a debut, isn't it? It's a debut. I've got to remember that. It was hard to watch, and I'm a fan of John Cole, who's Frankie's trainer, and I love Jamie Spate.
Just you think a better debut would be?
I don't know.
Putting someone really experienced that they don't know, and say to the journeyman, listen, it's his debut. Obviously, he's going to try and kill you.
Why do we have to say it to the journeyman?
You don't. You don't.
No, this is what I mean. Why should we have to? Like, they know their job as it is.
I know. It's just like
then again, it's boxing. Everyone should fight everyone. Just chuck them in the deep end. I mean, you could start like that, or you could start off with someone.
I'm on board with that, but the fact is it's not that way.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that, but that's just the fact. It is not that way.
Yeah, it's a crazy game, man. It really is, and yeah, I think things happen that they're questionable whether it's 100% how it should be. Do you know what I mean? Dean Richardson, my good mate, was first fight under Gary Logan. It wasn't his best performance. I didn't see him afterwards. I don't know if he knows what.
I'm disappointed now. I was expecting the KO show from him.
Yeah, so he knocked out his first 5, and in his last 3 he hasn't got a finish. This was his first fight under Gary Logan, who by the way I met for the first time last night. That man is a fucking gentleman. You ever spoke to Gary Logan? Literally the nicest bloke in the world. Like, you know, proper personable. Like, introduce yourself and then buy Sam. Like, proper, like, just a good person. So yeah, it's the first fight with Gary Logan. So I don't know if I want to judge him too much. You know, I think Dean could stagnate if he's not pushed. I don't want to see any 2 or 3 more 6 rounders from Dean. I know he's young, but he's good. He's good and his movement's good. As I say, he was a little bit flat-footed last night. It wasn't his best performance, but I think he's got titles sort of in his near future.
I thought he looked quite good in that fight. I mean, his work rate, he had a high work rate. He was picking different shots. To me, he looked alright. I ain't seen much of him. But
yeah, I think you're right. I think that's why I judge him by what I've seen in his second, and then his third, and then his 4th and 5th, where he's bombing boys out. And you know,
he's durable though. The guy boxed last night. Yeah. He is durable.
And that was his third opponent in a week. It changed 3 times. I don't know.
I don't think that matters.
I don't know.
Actually, no, it does. I lost my last fight. He was the last one. No, listen, I don't think that matters. You kind of just think, I'm having a fight at the moment. Everyone's different. I think a lot of fighters think.
I doubt he was planning for the original Journeyman. Like, his game plan probably wasn't geared
with the Journeyman, you don't need to watch hours and hours of them and work a game plan. Just box, develop, move forward. Simple as that. If you need to watch 6 hours of a Journeyman, you ain't got what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, funny enough, my last fight, I had my opponent pull out twice within the last 3 days of the fight.
What was your last one? What was your last fight? I'm trying to remember what show that was on.
Was it 12th of November? I think it was, if I'm right.
12th of November.
Is it? No, what am I talking about?
We're not even in November.
September, yeah.
September the 8th.
Yeah, September the 8th. That's
because it was the show I couldn't make. We went to the 15th, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, September the 8th.
But
so your opponent
changed like twice within the last week.
Your weight is harder as well.
Yeah, and
you had to struggle with opponents, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to eat up to make the weight. I was just getting phone calls. I didn't even know what was happening. I was getting phone calls saying, eat up.
You're probably going up to featherweight now.
And I ate up.
Emran Hussein, eat up more. Is he not similar weight to you?
Is that?
Emran Hussein.
Oh, yeah.
You sparred him?
No, not yet.
Are you the same
Actually, I sparred
weight?
him once when we was before we turned pro.
Are you the same weight?
Yeah.
Because he has the same thing with opponents, doesn't he?
Where you sometimes you might be boxing a featherweight.
He's done the same thing. He gets up to he goes up to 60 or something like that. But he can be mid 50s if he wanted.
I don't know what that is. You're doing kilos again.
Listen, he puts
stop doing the amateur shit. Can we do it in pounds or something, please? We've had this discussion every week. When you say kilos, I don't know what you're saying. Okay, pounds.
Moving on.
How many pounds is super bantamweight?
8 stone 10.
So 8 stone 10 is 100 and...
I don't know pounds. I get lost when it comes to pounds.
This is the problem, isn't it?
We're all using different measurements.
Yeah. So you know the kilos, I know the pounds. He knows the fucking stone. All right, little anyway. You lot.
Yeah, we're little people.
He gets a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ramez, your gym mate. He said like obviously he was the same sort of super bantam or feather. Depends on the opponents really and what titles because there's only 4 pounds between super bantam and feather.
Yeah.
I think off the top of my head it's like 126 pounds is feather, 122 is super bantam. I think I might be wrong and someone will tell me, but it's only about 4 pounds. So. I mean, 4 pounds for me, someone as fat as me, bro. That's like one burger.
That's a whole.
Do you know what I mean? That is one burger. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, where were we? We've gone off track a little bit. Third fight of the night. Matt, do you know the hardest bit about doing a podcast is being honest about nice people when you don't think they're good, or they.
Like, you supported me for a long time.
I've been friends with you for a long time.
It's really difficult.
Yeah. And if I'm being honest, Dalton Miller's one of those guys. I've met him. I think I've met him twice, but I had a proper nice conversation with him once at York Hall. And it's just one of them guys where when you talk to him, you just think this is a proper nice bloke. You know. And I see him get in the ring, and I understand why he turned over as a journeyman. And it was probably tickets as well, but I don't think he's great. That's not to say that he's not going to be in quite exciting fights sometimes, but his style isn't exactly like that fan friendly either. He's not a guy who's going to stand and trade. He tries to box nicely and it doesn't always come off. And last night your old mate Cheeky G come out in the screen outfit as always, them fucking leopard print trunks.
He's a proper good journeyman. He's what you need from a journeyman.
Yeah, but no, because he won again. he won.
He didn't do his job.
Yeah, he didn't do his job. He's fired.
Stay on your toes, mate.
He beat Dalton Miller by a point, which I thought was fair. I thought it'd be a draw or a point.
I thought it was a bit of a close fight.
It was.
I will give it to him.
But
I'll give it to
him. You know what you don't want from your home fighter is close fights all the time, which Dalton seems to have, bless him. And I don't know where he goes from here, Dalton, because he's got like I think it's a negative record where he started as a journeyman. I don't know. If he enjoys fighting, I guess.
Isn't he 4-5?
It sounds about right. It's about that. It's very close. But he's a good dude, and I guess Cheeky Grant's 3-6 now. 3-5,
3-6.
Yeah, and a draw in there and all.
3-5 and 1, something like
Mate,
that.
I don't want to box Cheeky Grant. I'll be honest.
I'll give him full respect, and he come from quite far. I know he's not from
Birmingham, innit?
Yeah,
he's from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Follow his fucking Instagram and shit, mate. He's on another planet. Honestly.
Mate, I'm just glad he split up with that bird. Some of the videos he used to put up, just randomly a foot in his mouth.
Yeah, he would. He'd be like licking her toes and he'd put it on his Instagram.
Yeah,
he's funny. Listen,
he don't care. He's a character. He's a fun. Yeah, spoke to him briefly. I said, I don't like you. You beat up my mate Richie Gray. But no, he's a good dude. But I wouldn't book him. I wouldn't put him in there.
You caused him in upsets.
Yeah, listen, he's just slippery. Even when I boxed him, I looked at him. I thought, yeah, he's awkward. But as soon as I hit him, it's over. And then when I boxed him, as soon as he went down, I thought, yep, just as I thought. That's literally what my trainer thought was. I thought, yeah, he's slippery, but as soon as it's over. Then he got up. And he got back. No one ever gets up. He got back up again, and then he kept taking shots, but he just figured it out in the end. And he fucking violently beat the shit out of me in round 5.
Yeah, last night ended up having fun. In the last round, his hands were down like the whole time. and he was just enjoying himself. And
bit cheeky, though, isn't it?
It is a bit cheeky.
Got so much confidence.
Yeah, he had the freedom because
what he wanted.
Again, I mean, it gives you freedom,
so
doesn't it?
Lose?
Yeah,
I'm here to lose anyway.
Yeah, I'm here to lose anyway. So, yeah, he had the freedom to have fun. That's what he was doing. Yeah, he picked up a.
He's back in the gym this morning.
Don't surprise me, mate. The geezer is.
He loves it.
He
goes to the gym like 7 days a week. He'll go
3 times a day.
Morning, evening. He'll box. He'll be in the gym the day before.
I love that guy.
He'll go gym next day.
Honestly, I like that guy a lot, man. He's a character, isn't it?
He's up this song. I've seen his video and he's going, nobody wakes up looking as good as me. Look how fresh I look. I woke up like this.
He's got a skinhead, he ain't got to do hair or anything.
He's got that comb, and he's got that afro hair that he's combing.
Oh mate. But yeah, so that was one fight, and then Dave Abraham. What do you think of this fight?
I missed that fight. I went out for a drink.
You're lucky, mate.
I don't know. It was getting a bit too hot in there.
You're lucky because Dave Abraham, he's had about 2 years off. He's that heavyweight. He weighed in 20 stone and 7 pound. And you know, how do you be kind against a guy that throws a jab, and by the time it's got to its target, you could have walked around the ring once? And it's just he's not. I don't know what his ambitions are in the sport. He had a good following. There was a lot of people there to follow him. He boxed Phil Williams to a decision. It was a typical tick over. Not tick over. It's a long time out, but it was a typical small hall fight, 4-round fight. What happened was what was always going to happen. To be fair,
I'm not even going to write it down, but I see a video, so I'm going to write it down because we might come to it later. But I don't think we will. Did you see? Fuck, it's gone out of my mind already.
That was good.
No, I forgot his name.
What are we talking about? What's the subject?
The White Rhino on the fucking media thing, and he told Eddie Hearns he could speak German, and he pretended. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh mate, he was. I don't
he
even
pretended
know if
to be the translator.
I don't know if he can even speak German.
Dave Allen could barely speak English, mate. There's no
was
way.
Fucking hilarious. He's going to Eddie. Yeah. I can speak fluent German. He goes, go on then, I'll give this in German. Says some stuff, and then Eddie goes, he's going to translate for you, mate. Speak in German, he'll translate for you. Oh, it cracked me up.
Oh, mate. Did you see that fight?
I see the finish.
Yeah. That was the fight. The fight was the first interaction.
That was it, yeah. No, actually, yeah, it was the whole fight. It was like 30 seconds. Right?
Yeah, I think it finished in a minute. But we'll touch on that show later, the Matchroom show. The next fight I want to talk about is Curtis Felix and Justin Menzie. Ryan, you start us off on the Menzie and Felix fight. What are you going to say?
This is the fight that I came to look forward to. I train with Justin, and I know Curtis. I know both of them, so I was kind of sitting on the fence. But I see Justin every day in the gym, so we're both training beside each other, and he wanted it so much. It was a good fight. I think he won the first couple rounds, and then it slipped away from maybe round 6, 7, like towards the end.
Yeah,
just slipping away from him.
Menzie's in tough fights, man. Like that was a welterweight, the Southern Area welterweight title eliminator. Didn't he box Burton at middleweight, or was that light middle? Like he just fights tough fights, man. Early doors, like.
Do you know what it is? He ain't got much time to waste. I mean, he's more
mid-30s, isn't he?
Yeah. So he ain't got time to waste. So he's just going for the big fights. He don't want no journeyman or small fights. He wants the big fights.
I love these guys that do that though.
Yeah.
ID Hill does the same thing.
Yeah.
I just want to fight people. Please don't put me in a journeyman.
Yeah, I like that.
I fully respect them people. They come to fight.
Yeah.
Even his last fight was against Club Sagbar.
He beat Sagbar, didn't he?
He beat him, yeah.
Yeah. It's true. You look at that Burton, Sagbar, Felix. Like 3 fights in a row where they're 50-50 fights. He won 1, lost. No, did he beat Burton or he got? No, Burton beat him, didn't he? Because it was proper close. Do you remember he was winning the first fight about 4 or 5 rounds, battering him, and then Burton came back. I'm sure Burton beat him because then Burton got beat by Brad Pauls. Yeah. And so Burton's big as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I respect him a lot, man. Justin Menzie's in fun fights. Craig Scott is now ringing me.
Definitely answer that.
Should I answer that? I never speak to this cunt.
Live.
Craig Scott, you are live on the podcast.
Alright, shaggers up and down the country, what's happening?
What's happening? Me, Richie and Ryan just sitting here recording. How are you?
Ryan alive?
How you doing, mate?
What was that?
I'm trying.
It's supposed to be.
I'm trying to do the accent, man. I tried.
That sounded like Bangladeshi. That's good.
What's happening?
Not much, man. I was just wanting to ask a question, actually.
Go on, ask it live.
So I was going to ask...
Live.
We are live. I was going to ask, Ryan, obviously you're fighting for the English title, mate. Congratulations on getting that shot. How does it feel preparing for a fight of that magnitude compared to fighting guys you've been fighting previously? Obviously it's a massive step up, Do you feel different in preparation, or is it something you're just taking in your stride, mate?
No, I feel more motivated for this fight because I'm fighting someone that's gonna bring the best out of me. So I'll make sure I'm training hard and doing everything properly, not taking no shortcuts at all. I take every fight serious, but this one I take it even more serious. Because I'm so hungry for it. I just really want to win this, man. So I'm making sure that I'm ready.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Well, best of luck when the night comes.
Thanks a lot, man.
I'm sure you'll get the result right. You two, fucking idiots. I'll speak to you later.
I'll give you a bell later, mate. See you later.
Right, nice one. See you later.
Right. Well, this pod has taken a fucking... We've lost all topics. It's all gone. That was all going to be talked about at the end, but it's what we do. We're a live pod, mate. We don't fuck about, do we?
It's not actually live. It's recorded and posted.
Yeah, but we're recording it live. We're not going to cut it up and put that at the end. We're just going to throw it out there because it takes too much work. Now the rain has started, so that's going to be another thing.
It's fucking all
this
kicking off
podcast is all over the gaff, mate.
A lot of swearing. I thought it's been quite calm so far.
Ryan's a chilled out individual. Look at him.
I'm waiting till a fight now. That's weird.
People come in and cause trouble. And
and that rain is now popping off. I hope it ain't too loud on the old ears.
Just maybe stop and check it.
Stop and check it. Maybe I will do. We've done a rain check. We're not weathermen. Weathermen?
Weathermen.
Weathermen.
We're not weathermen.
We're not weathermen. There's nothing we can do. If we keep talking, it will drown it out. So that shouldn't be a problem for you and me.
As long as there's no awkward silences.
Where was we up to on the... Curtis Felix, Justin Menzie. Do you know what? I like Curtis Felix as well. He's like... He don't want to waste no time either, really. That was about his 6th, maybe. Straight into the fight. The longer it went, the better he looked. He was talking to Justin. He was having fun towards the end. And that last round, mate, his hands were down. He was bouncing around. I enjoyed the fight a lot. For the two 50-50s they put on, they were good fights. And I think Curtis Felix is going to be in some good fights. The only problem he's got, right, he's in a division full of killers, man. If he wants to fight for that Southern Area title, you got the likes of Jez Smith, Chris Congo. Who knows what's happening with Louis Green, but mate, these are some serious fighters. So
if I'm right, that was the eliminator. That fight.
Yeah, it wasn't the final eliminator. It's just an eliminator. So
okay, so Curtis is now going to fight for Southern Area.
I'd imagine he. No, I think he'd have to win one more because if you think about it, Congo got mandated, and then it's all over the place because Louis Green's pulled out a couple times. So the board would have to make a decision. I imagine Felix would have to box one more, and then be mandated for it. But mate, he's in some fun fights. Robbie Chapman had a quick 4-rounder on his debut. Was it his debut? Or was
I'm not too sure.
The Camden caretaker.
That's the first time I've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit around Twitter.
It's all over social media, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's always tagging me in show. I met him.
His hair's all over the shop.
Yeah.
That is a serious mop on his barnet. He has got the old noodles. And when it was sweaty, it looked even madder. It looked like fucking, what's his name? Sideshow Bob or something. It's quality. Mate, he was unique.
I don't know how you can see.
I know, it was all over
his face like that.
He looked so different on there than he did on like Instagram or on Twitter when he puts mad, mate. He looked mad. But it is a good victory.
Credit to him. Listen, that was his debut.
I can't remember if it was his debut or his second.
Might be his second.
So this is a geezer I've never seen fight, but
you've heard of
he's
him.
always popping up on my social media.
I mean, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good. Always.
He's got a good team around
Robbie
him.
Chapman went 2-0. Sorry, he had one in May, so that was his second. So you're right. For a guy who had one fight and we know about him,
he does exactly what I always tell people to do when they say, "Oh, Rich Chapman," and I think, "Who the fuck is this guy? It's annoying me now."
Yeah.
But the point is, I now know he is. And I haven't blocked him. I haven't unfollowed him or anything. I just think every time he takes him, why is this cunt tagging me and shit? But the fact is, he's achieved what he was trying to achieve because now I know he is.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? He's got a good team around him.
It was IQ, innit? He had Don Charles in his corner.
Yeah.
As did Mr. Dave Abraham, Big Abraham. So it's mad, isn't it?
Got loads of boxes down there, man.
Yeah.
Right,
So Don obviously he just comes along for support because Xavier's the head coach there, isn't it?
Yeah,
of IQ.
Xavier
Miller. Yeah, I saw him. And Don Charles just in the corner just for some advice. So fucking hell, you can't get much better advice in your second pro fight than that. But then let's talk about the main event. The reason we were there, the reason I went to that slum they call Tottenham. Sorry to anyone who's from Tottenham. There's a lot of chicken shops in Tottenham, but not much else. Jeffrey Ofori and my mate Jamani Camero. I spoke to Jamani this morning as well. I have a theory, right? His entrance song got fucked up. They played the wrong entrance song, and I think that's the whole reason he lost, to be honest with you. I think there should be a rematch demanded by the board.
Yeah.
It's the only rational explanation for why he got beat, to be honest. So let's see what comes from that. It was... He allowed Jeffrey.
Let's just talk about how he was before the fight, because me and you saw him before the fight. Jamani,
I mean, he's so chilled, isn't it? Like,
so bit too chilled.
Do you think that can play a part?
For me, I think it does. I mean, you got to be relaxed before a fight. I think, yeah, you don't want to be too high up and think about it too much. But he looked like he's on holiday.
That's Jamani. Jamani rocks up in shorts and they're like, "Where are you?" But he's like, "I just got here, man. It's all right. We're all good." Then he was sitting ringside, wrapped up, watching some of his old teammates and like his teammates. Obviously, the Curtis Felix. They train in the same gym, so I don't think you're ever going to change Jamani, whether he's boxing for a world title or he's boxing in a 4-rounder at York Hall.
I don't think you need to.
He is who he is.
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's...
And in hindsight as well, once he's lost, you can go, well, maybe he wasn't focused enough, innit?
It was easy to do that. What if he won?
Yeah.
He was so chilled and he won, and it just adds to his character then.
Think,
everyone's takes it and acts very differently before a fight, and I think you need to do whatever makes you feel the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Every fight is different. For me, I've got to shut off.
Yeah.
I can't be watching other fights and I need to focus on my fight.
You just sit in the changing room.
I'm selfish when it comes to fighting.
It's not selfish. It's not selfish. It's just how you do it. It's not selfish at all. So don't think it is. It's not. It's just the way you do it.
Yeah.
Everyone does it different. He's chilled. I used to mosey about it. I remember once I was boxing Goodwin show and I was on last. I went home, had fucking Dominoes, watched Central Intelligence, had a fucking Ben and Jerry's, got a train.
Oh yeah, I got a fight to go to.
Yeah, I went back to the venue at about fucking 9 hours going, "Where the fuck are you? You've got to do your hands." I'm like, "It's alright, I'm here." And then I had some fucking donuts in there, took some photos of my mates, and everyone got my hands done.
Yeah.
So, but then Davis, he's not so bad now, he used to get proper nervous, he wouldn't go out to the crowd, sit at the back, think about the fight. I just think, you're putting it on a pedestal, mate. It's just a fight.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking fight.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. You build it up too much in your head.
If you need to think about it that much, like, you're not already mentally prepared enough. Like, you either like fighting or you're into it or you're not. And I just think, if it bothers you that much,
but are
you really happy? It was
a conversation I had last night. Me, Kevin Campion, and I think it might have been Andy Brown. Oh no, it was Sean Ells. Big up Sean Ells. It was him. We were saying about there's been plenty of occasions where fighters and like the whip's gone round and gone, he ain't coming out. Like he's going, I can't do it. So people have had like massive bouts of nerves. So yeah, each to their own, isn't it? There's cases where guys are, like on fight now have gone, no, I can't do it.
No, nerves are absolutely fine. I've seen boys, there's a boy in the amateurs. He's fucking not boxing now, but he used to be in the ring, and I used to wonder why the fuck does he do it? Because even from the first bell and the very first shot, he looked like he was scared the whole time. And when the last bell went, you could see relief. Fuck me, I'm alive.
Yeah.
And I think,
you don't love this?
His name's Ben. I used to go like, Ben, like, you don't look like you're enjoying yourself, mate. Like, I know it's nice to feel good when you win, feel shit when you lose, and the emotions are good, but during that period of time, you do not look like you're enjoying yourself whatsoever. Like, no part of that it looks like you like it. I just don't think it's for you. You like the feeling of it after, but the during session, not for you, mate.
For me, it's the night before the fight. Sometimes I don't sleep at all. I just think about it too much.
Yeah.
It's a bit where I'm nervous and I'll think about what's going to happen. I go through it all in my head the night before.
Did you do a lot of amateur?
I had about 26 fights in amateur and I wasn't the best. I won half of them.
That's alright, no, that's listen, boys say that all the time. No, do you know? And a lot of boys you'll find lie about amateur records. They think no one knows that bollocks. You go on Warrior, which I used to be able to go on all the time. You can check everyone's amateur records.
Yeah.
50-50 records mean you've been a good matchmaker. If you
and as well,
you see boys with 30 fights and 25 wins. Sometimes they are fucking good, obviously.
Yeah.
Other times they could have had easy matches. Remember how many times were they in championships?
True.
That makes a difference as well. Championship
right.
fights,
in amateurs, you can't pick who you're fighting.
Funny enough, when I was in amateurs, my easier fights were in championships. They usually were easier in championships. My club matching was always a lot harder. But in the amateurs, it's supposed to be 50-50. There's no journeyman.
Yeah,
so
you just turn up and fight.
You turn up and fight. And
so there's no journeyman, yeah?
Back in the day,
so where did journeyman come from?
Back in the day, you used to go as a spare. Do you remember that? How old are you?
I'm 26.
So when you were younger, did you do any junior boxing?
I started boxing kind of late. I was 18 when I started.
They used to do, I don't know if you know about it, Sam, back in the day, you'd go to a show, they'd take a team of 3 boxers, whatever, and you go, right, we'll take a couple of spares. So you go with your kit, and if there's someone your weight around the same fight, you'll fight. But you don't, 3 of them have got matches, you're actually matched up.
Yeah.
I went as a spare before, and then they're like, no, you're on, and you're on 3rd. Like, you've just gone as a spare.
Get gloved up.
Yeah, it's literally like that in the amateurs. That's the fucking bollocks though, isn't it?
That's happened to me once. I went to one fight. I actually didn't want to fight this day. I don't know why. I just didn't feel up for it. And then I came in overweight, kind of on purpose. I didn't tell my coach.
There's another boy
came in overweight.
There's another middleweight here for you. It's like, what?
That's exactly what happened. Then I got there. I was overweight now. Then it's like, alright, then they've got a spare. That's the weight above me. that I'm gonna have to match him now. So I thought, oh shit, this guy's bigger than me. I thought, oh man, what I put myself into. I've done quite well against him, lucky enough, and I pulled off a victory, but it was hard. I made it hard for myself.
Yeah. Let's go back to Jeffrey Ofori and Jumani Camero. We went off track a bit, which I like to do, you know. I like that it's not rigid. We just kind of just roll with the punches.
I like it. We do it a lot. Me and Sam sometimes say, Sam, I've got this to talk about, and I start saying, you go, whoa, save it, and then sometimes you'll say something like, Sam, save it.
Yeah.
And we like to freestyle it. So sometimes the stuff we've said stuff, and I thought I'd rather have planned that because I could have said it better. Yeah. But I do like freestyling as well.
But then there's things that you don't think about until you start talking, and then they go,
it's like when you're in an argument with someone and you think of a fucking good point.
That always happens, yeah. By the way, why didn't I tell him?
Why didn't I say this? Fuck it, I'm going to text him now. We made up, but I'm still going to say it.
Oh, mate. Now let's talk about Jumani. Jeffrey Ofori.
Jumani's got to cut his hair off now, isn't he? He's not the real Predator because he lost, you know what I mean? That was the thing.
Predators lose.
Predator off.
There was Predator 1 and then Predator 2. He's allowed back. Leave him alone.
I don't know.
Scorecard, first of all. Before I talk about the fight, there's a few different people who had different opinions on it. 99-93 was what was given by Jeffrey Hines, I think it was reffing. I don't think you could argue that Jumani won the first round. He kept Jeffrey at range. But then he's only given him a share of 2 of the other 9. Which is a bit harsh, man. But
that is a bit too harsh.
But is it relevant? Does it matter, I guess, when you actually go and think about it? I don't think there's an argument that Jumani won the fight.
I think that gets people back up a lot. Sometimes you'll see a fight. I hate to use the example because people will just cry about it. With Canelo and Golovkin, if the score was seriously wide, people would go nuts. They'd go absolutely nuts, even if he was a winner anyway. Doesn't matter if it was closer, he still would have got the result. It's them kind of fight. Sometimes you look at the score, it doesn't matter if he wins by 1 round or fucking 85 rounds, he was always going to get that result. So I get what you're saying. You look at it,
should it matter?
You never really gave that. You could say, yeah, but what if Jumani had started dropping him in the 8th and the 9th and the 10th, and he still would have lost because you gave away way too many rounds at the start? Yeah, it's unlikely, but.
Do you know? I always wonder, like when a ref scores a fight, especially a 10-rounder, and I get it ain't feasible to have judges everywhere, right? But it was a 10-round fight, but the ref scores it. He must score round by round. Obviously, there's only way you can do it. You see him mark it, right? Yeah. No, he doesn't put it out the ring. Keeps it in his notebook in his top pocket.
I don't think they do.
You don't hand it to anyone. It's just his notebook.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, maybe you're right, but it's not a judge he's giving it to. He's got no one to give it to. Like, there's nothing.
I thought that they gave it to someone out. Oh, I suppose, yeah, one of these... What was that? Was that not Eliminator or anything?
No, I'm talking about for Jumani's Southern Area. It was his Southern Area title.
Yeah, well then it should be passed out to someone outside the ring. In a normal fight, they take notes so then they can't edit it at the end.
I wish I'd have fucking paid attention, man. I don't remember seeing that. But what my point was going to be was... You can only score round by round, obviously. But there will be occasions, I guess. Say Jumani had dropped him in the 9th and the 10th, right? He would have still lost on Jeffrey's scorecard. So...
What was the difference in points?
99-93. So it was 6 points.
6 points in it.
Yeah. So he would have still won like by 2 or 3 points if he'd have dropped him twice. And I wonder at any point, can a ref go, but that made such a difference, it should alter the whole fight. But it can't now, it's too late. Is there anyone to go back and go through his book and go, could he have changed his mind? You can't because you scored down those earlier rounds.
That's why I thought...
That's why it makes sense to hand it out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't... Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
Especially on these fights, I think they give it to someone at ring so they can't change it.
Like an inspector.
Yeah, because I don't. Obviously, someone would inspect the results after and say, "Oh no, he's crossed that out and changed it," but they wouldn't do that, would they?
No.
I would leave 6, 7, or 8 completely blank. Wait till it gets around 10 and think, "Oh fuck it, I'll give Sam that round, that round, that round."
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got a fucking chance here.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So if you really, what you could do is, if you're a judge, pick your pen out. Do fucking nothing on your notepad.
Yeah.
At the end of the fight, go alright, 1,
Oh yeah, no, judges. I know they're checked every round. They're taken every round because you see the ref go around. He picks up the judges' scorecards and he hands them to the inspector. But there's a Southern Area. I don't like that the ref scores it on a Southern Area.
Off the top of my head, I thought the ref gave the round by round outside the ring to someone else.
Yeah, maybe he does.
Timekeeper, someone holds on to them, and then they add them up at the end. And
what happens for the English? English is judges, isn't it?
I actually don't know.
You don't know?
I actually don't know.
How many rounds? 10.
When was I was commentating? Was it Billy Bird's English?
Billy Bird, Matt McCarthy.
There was judges.
No,
that was English. Yeah, there was.
Oh yeah, it was English. Sorry, yeah, it was English. Yeah, the one the other day, Harper. You're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Not Matt McCarthy, Billy Bird, because Matt McCarthy, Billy Bird was the ref.
Was the ref? Yeah.
Southern Area. So that's where it stopped. So 10 rounds stays for English and Southern Area.
What if they had a Southern Area title fight and an English title fight, the judges are there anyway, would they just use them?
But isn't that against protocol? You might as well use them for the 4-rounder then. Do you know what I mean? Like, why?
Not for a 4-rounder though.
Yeah, but why? If the judges are in the fucking building, make them work.
Maybe it's not. You don't have to have judges for a Southern Area, but you have to have them for an English.
Yeah.
So that if they're doing English, they might as well do the Southern Area. It's kind of optional. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna start paying attention.
Everyone sees a fight a different way, and you need more than one opinion sometimes. I mean, you might be the one ref.
You can have 500 refs, and they could all turn around and say 250 could say him and him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So subjective, this sport, isn't it?
I do think you need more than one person to judge it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you lose on points, especially when it's close, it's just someone's opinion.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When these
and that person could be right or wrong.
They could be.
Yeah.
But no one's wrong when it's that close, really. If no one's been beaten up, then no one's really wrong.
There aren't many sports where the outcome is subjective.
To a person's decision.
You don't have football, opinion. Fucking darts, golf.
Imagine
it's very cut and dry.
Imagine in a football match.
They played better. They
won 2-0. You scored 2 goals, but they had possession the whole time. They were putting the pressure on.
Yeah.
You know, they had made. I'm going to give it to them.
Yeah.
But they scored twice. Yeah, but they did look good doing it.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird. It's a weird thing that
this. It needs to be. You can only win if you've knocked someone down. Like you have to keep going until someone hits the floor.
Round 38 now. Yeah.
I mean, it was at one point. It'd been back in boxing day. A round used to end when someone took a knee. Or
there's been so many different fucking.
I'm talking
variations. Yeah, MMA would have half-an-hour fights where they would just keep going until there was a victor.
Yeah.
And you see the 2 blokes dying, both in there, just fight to the death because it's not gladiator times, man. It's
a fight.
This is a sport. This is a business.
It's not.
It's a business, though, isn't it?
It is.
Let's talk about Jumani and Jeffrey. We've forgotten about that. Jumani, I sat with Steve Goodwin. He and I watched it together.
My leg's hurting from your.
Can you stop changing the subject? I need to talk about this fight. And obviously Sean Earls, who was his head trainer last night, I was with him for a long time before the fight. He's a bloke that I've got a tremendous amount of time for. And as I mentioned earlier, I spoke to Jumani this morning. We had a good conversation. He's the same Jumani he always is, but he lost that fight. It's as simple as that. He got, at times he got beat up, man.
I think he got outworked. He took some hard shots, man. He took a lot.
He did, and his nose went in the 5th.
Yeah, for him to still stay in there,
blood everywhere.
I think he done well to stay in there.
Yeah,
Jeff Ofori, he didn't stop coming.
That was what I wanted to say. Jeff Ofori, I saw his work rate and I thought, okay, when does he tire? Because no one can maintain that work rate for 10 rounds. Mate, 10 rounds in, he's still punching. The 10th round, he was still the aggressor. And you know, as I said earlier, I was sat in the away corner all night, but then I went and sat with Steve Goodwin for this one because I didn't want to be disrespectful. Jumani's a friend, and behind me was Mo Pryor, who's Jeffrey's manager, and Dan Gray, the British Warriors boys. Obviously, we know the British Warriors boys. And they were sat behind me, so I thought, I can't sit here. It'd be disrespectful being Jumani's friend and being on their side. So I went on the other side, and listen, I spoke to them after. They were delighted with him. They believed he would do exactly what he did. I didn't see it coming, but you know what I tend to do? I tend to look through friend-tinted glasses. And like I did with David Hay, George Groves, Richie Gray, I did it with Jumani. I didn't see that coming because I didn't want to, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't think Jeffrey would maintain that work rate, and he boxed Jumani up, man. He's a pressure fighter, and you don't see many of them that can maintain it like that. He didn't take anything off.
I was expecting him to blow out halfway through.
So
the amount of punches he was throwing,
unbelievable. He's going to be a problem. I was trying to think what other lightweights are there at Southern Area level. Like your mate Danny Connors called him out today on Twitter. He said, "Well, not called him out. Well, he is calling him out.
He said,
respectfully,
two-weight Southern Area champion. I said world champion.
Sounds good. Yeah,
2-weight Southern Area champion sounds good. The thing is,
congratulations on your win.
Congratulations on your win. Yeah, it's
respectful. Yeah.
The only thing is for me with Dan, I mentioned this to you earlier, is that I struggle to understand where Dan's going with it now, because he got on Sky Sports, he was Southern Area champion, he was loving life, he done so much what boxers want to do, and then he had a bit of time out, and then he's sort of scraped in and out of it now. I don't know what he wants now. Yeah. I don't know what he wants. Like I said to you, he knows he's boxing. Can he do the media because he knows his stuff? But I don't know if he can do that now. For me, I don't know what Dan wants at this point. I don't know what do you want, Dan? What are you trying to achieve here? Like does he just trying to get a couple of big money fights? Does he actually want to win another title?
Is Jeffrey Ofori a big money fight?
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to. What's Danny want out of this now? I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to achieve. Does he want to be a champion again? If he does, I think he should be more active. I know he don't want to fight journeyman, but fight for journeyman to keep busy, so then you'll be prepared for when these fights come along. I don't know. Listen, Dan's been in the game a lot more than me. I wouldn't want to say anything disrespectful about Dan, but I don't know where he's going with it at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Other lightweights, as you look around, I'm trying to think of any Southern area. It's not the deepest division at Southern area.
There's some coming up. I think within the next year you will see quite a lot. But right now, Southern area.
Do you know who would be a good fight? And he's not necessarily a prospect. He's the guy that Jamani won the title off, Dave Birmingham.
That's the guy that fought
Anesi Tuwala. He beat Anesi over 6 rounds in his last fight.
Yeah,
he could have another crack at the title. It'd be another fun fight. But again, all I can say, congratulations to Jeffrey and his team and all the boys, that British Warriors. They believed in him, and he came up trumps, man. He looked fucking very good. Listen, he did to Jamani what Freddie Kiewit, a legit welterweight, couldn't do on 2 days. He busted Jamani up, man. He landed on him clean a lot. And I've never seen that happen to Jamani. In his losses before, he's never
been beat up.
He's never been beat up, and there was times where he was getting beat up.
I mean, the first couple of rounds when he's keeping it long and moving and boxing,
Yeah.
he done quite well.
Yeah.
That's why I give him a few
He's
rounds.
got a chin, Jamani, you know.
Yeah.
He took, there was a few times he was against that rope, and I was fucking screaming, "Get out of there!" But the pressure of Ofori, man, he just
sits in your chest for the whole fight.
Yeah,
and it will just work.
Class, mate. Unbelievable.
I mean, guys like that, they're hard to deal with.
Yeah.
They're just in your face pressure, and if you can't deal with it, it's hard.
Yeah.
Especially if they can keep it up, because you usually think, I'll wait
I'll
wait
burn
for the
out.
storm. Yeah, I'll wait, just ride out the storm, and then you can sort of come on top after. But if he keeps up for the whole time, fucks you, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was one of the questions actually came in. Let me get it right. Daniel Smith, thank you very much, mate. Who was Sam most impressed with at the Goodwin show last night? And Richie and Ryan, Ofori was very high energy and high pressure for most of the fight with Camero last night. What's the best way to deal with a high pressure fighter? So, most impressive for me was Jeffrey Ofori. I can't say anything else. He was excellent. Curtis Felix is very fun to watch, but Ofori was quality. So, but you two, how do you deal with a guy that wants to sit on your chest? He wants to make it hard. His head's in there. He weren't throwing headbutts, but his head was there, awkward. He's fucking everywhere. He's on your chest. He's digging you to the body and the head constantly. You don't get a second to think. How do you deal with that?
I think it depends on your style of fighting. For me, when I have a pressure guy that comes to me, sometimes I meet him with it and I bring more pressure to make them back off. Or sometimes you box and move if it's too much and you can't deal with it. Box smart, just do 1-2 shots and then move off. I mean, you don't want to trade with him. If he's going to just work and be pressuring you for the whole fight, you need to switch up your game plan and do what works for you.
For me, when you've got someone that will stay on you, I think it's setting up them coming in. So as they're coming at you, be prepared to work with them, because sometimes they will trap you. But as they come in, throw a 1-2 hook, spin off, stay, do a couple of seconds work while he's there, move off again. The next time you see boys when they pull their head down and make him frustrated with every time he comes in. Even if you're not landing or making loads of clean shots, you've done something to make him look messy. It will frustrate him eventually, and I think when you frustrate them, they drain themselves and they make more mistakes, and then you can start to outbox them. So you've got to stay in their face with them. Don't give them too much space, but you're drawing him in, ball to a red flag, boom, 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 move off, and then set it up again. Keep trying to set them up. Don't jab, move, 1-2 move, 1 move. You don't try and box clean with them. I think you need to wait, set your feet, wait for him, draw him in, let him come to do all his work, do something to make him look a bit silly. You know, they trip over themselves, and I think that's the way to frustrate them.
I think it depends on your style, because I'm against what you said. I think I've had pressure fight and I do 1-2 move, and for me that works perfect.
Yeah.
That 1-2, then step to the side.
You need to try and keep a 12-stone middleweight off you.
That's what I said. I'm a little man, so for me it works for me.
Listen, it's different styles. It's different styles, isn't it? It's how you deal with it. Like, who was wrong, Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
Who's doing it wrong?
It's true. No, it's pressure fighters can be fun to watch, but it comes back to Ward Kovalev. Kovalev was sitting on Ward's chest, and Ward landed the cleaner shots. So,
well, do you know what? It's
what
funny.
do you like?
When I was younger, I used to watch pressure fighters, and I used to think, "Oh, fuck fighting him." But then, whenever I boxed myself against a pressure fighter, I always felt the best. I always felt good in there. I always felt like all my work was coming off because they were there to be it.
Yeah.
So I always look at them and think, fuck that'd be a right nightmare. But then when you're in there on your chest and you're hitting him with 1-2s and hooks, and he's walking into right hands and he's walking into body shots, you think, fuck, mate, this is the bollocks.
Yeah, I can see both sides.
I'd rather that instead of having someone that runs away. I'd rather someone that comes to fight and pressure you. For me, it's
how
perfect.
you deal with it is all different, because some people,
stylistically,
you can hit them in the face and you can see that you bothered them. They'll keep coming, but you can see you're hurting them. Other people, I sparred with Joe Mullender before, right at the start of my career, and at that time I could have hit him with a plank of wood, and he would have it would have been like throwing a nothing, like I don't know, like a water balloon at him. Like he wouldn't have hit me. He just gone, boop, and he just kept going. Like.
We still need to talk about.
Mate, that's what I'm saying. We are 45 minutes in, and we've spoken about the one show that me and Ryan were at, and nothing that's been on telly. Mate, we're gonna have to breathe through some stuff. So,
it's good because I didn't.
Should we do the questions that were about? Yeah, I think we've done the questions that were about the Tottenham show. There's a few about the Cyclone show. So most people would have seen the Cyclone show from York Hall. The big talking point is the Martin Bakole situation. There's about 4 questions on that. The rest of the card, didn't see a lot of it. Obviously, I got home and watched all the boxing, but there wasn't a lot of it shown on Channel 5. They didn't show Chris Billum-Smith.
Across it. Obviously, I was doing family duties last night.
Mate, they didn't show Chris Billum-Smith knock out Robin Dupree or stop him. He didn't come out for the 5th round.
Yeah.
Billum-Smith is a massive talent. He's now fucking gonna fight for the Commonwealth title, and they didn't even give him any airtime, as far as I'm aware, for what the recording that I had on there. So this is the thing with these boxing platforms that are going on terrestrial telly. You're not getting everyone who's on the card airtime.
They could choose better boxers to put on there. Is that what you're saying?
No, because Lee McGregor won a 12-round Commonwealth in his 5th fight class, and then Bakole has a 10-round fight. I just don't know. Maybe make the programme half an hour longer and show me highlights of the other guys. Something like it.
They did put some highlights on at the end.
Of Chantel Cameron, right? But they didn't show any Billum-Smith.
I watched.
No?
I watched. I can't remember who it was now, but it was from late on in the fight, and it was a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And that was it.
It's frustrating when it's a really good card, and if you don't go, you don't get to see all of it. Like, part of me feels like if you have your TV, show us a bit. Like, show us a bit. There's only 4-round fight. Billum-Smith took Dupree apart.
I said this to you earlier as well. What bothered me about the show, and it is a subject that really matters, especially with TV boxing. Commentary can make a difference, and they just don't capture it for me. Like yesterday, one of the guys sound like he's from fucking Robot Wars, and Richie.
I'm pretty sure that was Paul Dempsey.
Yeah, I don't really know him.
Yeah, head like a hedgehog.
I didn't see him. Like
worst haircut.
For me, I'm watching the boxing, and sometimes with the Americans, they get fully involved. They're exciting. They sound like they're enjoying it. They come out with some weird facts, and they know some stuff, and it's really interesting. Last night, I was just like, I'd rather not listen to that. I'd rather watch and not listen to you. And that, for me, I like listening to commentary and fights. I like hearing what they've got to say when they're there. But yesterday, for me, I was like, they were just boring me. I know their stuff, but it just didn't do it for me.
I hate seeing the same team on Channel 5 as BT. Like, alright, they didn't got Buncey, but they still got Dempsey and then Woodall. Just give me something more exciting, man. Like they bore me on BT, and I'm going to be bored on Channel 5 as well. You're right.
It makes such a difference. Such a difference when the commentary's bad. It really does. I'm not saying they don't know their stuff. They clearly do know their stuff, but sometimes commentators sound boring, and you're like,
yeah. No, I understand.
I actually missed that show, but I heard about this as well. But the commentary is important, man. Sometimes it makes you decide to fight when you're watching it.
Oh yeah, that's a massive point. That's a massive thing, because if the home fighters, obviously the home fighters are backed by that platform, they're always going to sway towards it. And Lewis Ritson fight is another that's a show we're going to have to breeze past as well. But Lewis Ritson, the fight was in Newcastle. He's Sky's new jewel in their crown. He's a European title fight. He was 66-1 on, and got beaten by 12-1 Patera, right? But going into that last round, Macklin's like, oh, it's a tight fight. No. Patera was 3 rounds up by going into the last round, from what I saw and what the judges saw. But 2 of the 3 judges.
Again, watching on TV
subjective.
Different to sitting ringside, it really is. But it's like they can sway opinions, they really can. But for me, I want to watch it on TV. I want them to be a bit colourful with what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I think, give it a rest. You're boring, mate. Mm. Anyway, the fight
and the questions. The main one. Well, first of all, congratulations to Lee McGregor. He stopped Somba in the 12th round in his 5th fight for the Commonwealth title. Yeah. That's some going. What's that, bantamweight, isn't it? He weighs less than you.
I missed that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, Lee McGregor, his 5th fight, he won the Commonwealth title.
I've never heard of her,
mate. But yeah, so the questions, I'm just trying to get the word in on the questions about Bakole and Billy Nelson, his trainer. First one, Kev Morrow. Is Bakole not anywhere near as good as Billy Nelson made out, or should we just be giving all the credit to Hunter? That was one question on it. The second question was from M. Dow. What did the panel make of Billy's words of wisdom in Bakole's corner regarding he can't quit and they can repair the shoulder after the fight? So
that caught my ears.
Yeah,
catch my ears.
Piqued your interest.
Piqued my interest.
Yeah,
it piqued my interest. That comment.
As soon as you two walked in the door, I had that on the telly to show you because it was a talking point that a lot of people were talking about. But obviously, for some reason, I watched it and it made me feel really sad. I know that it sounds really weird about a big fucking scary African heavyweight, and I like Bakole.
Saying help.
Yeah, when he's in that corner saying help me. I don't think he actually said it like that, but he the words "help me" definitely came out. You saw his shoulder fucked, and he said to Billy, "I can't do it anymore. I'm done." And Billy Nelson said to him, "You ain't quitting. No, 2 rounds more. You ain't quitting." So my first personal opinion on it is how wrong can you be, man? Like, because in the 10th round, your man got his head blown off and took, I'd say, 8 shots that made Bakole's brain rattle to fuck around his head. They weren't little shots. They were huge bombs, right? And they shouldn't have been taken. Mentally, when a fighter's head has gone, how do you ever think you're going to regain that by telling them, no, you're not quitting? You lot know better than me.
I'm not angry about what you said. I'm not angry about that. It's the situation depends, obviously. At that time, he was like, my shoulder's gone, I'm not feeling it.
Which it clearly was. It
clearly was. Maybe the corner could have used different words.
He said, you'll jab his fucking head off instead. That's what he said. His wording was, you'll just jab his head off. Because he said, how can I? Bakole said, how can I? He said, just jab his head off. Okay?
It's hard to explain and put it out there, but like, imagine he'd come back and won that after being like, oh, thanks so much. Like, I was ready to quit. I didn't want it, and then you made me, and it would have been a better story. It would have been a well-good story. It would have been the best trainer of the year for that.
Yeah, maybe. But what
I understand.
What about when a man's long-term health could be affected by your decision?
It wasn't getting smashed to pieces at that point.
He was getting beaten up by Hunter, who's a tough man. Ryan,
listen, I'm not saying I'm happy about that. I'm not saying I'm happy about that. He didn't want to be there. I get that. What I'm saying is, the fighter says, "No, I'm done. You need to get me out of here." The coach should say maybe something like, "Are you sure?
Yeah,
you sure?"
Please ask him. Don't bully him into going.
Are you telling me to pull the fight? Are you telling me that? I've had enough. Are you sure? It's your last chance. You've got about 10 seconds. If you want me to pull it, I'm going to pull it now.
Yeah.
Do you want to win tonight or do you want to lose tonight? He shouldn't go, no, you're staying in here and you're fighting.
Yeah.
I don't understand why didn't the fighter get up and just
But then again, it's a fight. I mean, you're in there to fight. You don't quit. We're fighters. Say, if you're getting hurt bad and it's life-threatening...
It's hard because I would never say it in the corner, and I imagine you wouldn't, but no one feels like they would ever say that. He probably never thought in his life he would ever say I'm done.
Bakole, yeah.
He never thought that he would ever sit in that corner.
Do you know what?
Live on TV, which everyone's seen of him.
Maybe I'm sitting here with hindsight, and I was ringside for George Groves, Edward Gertnecht. Dino was on the undercard. Dean Richardson was on the undercard, and I sat there, and it was a 12-round fight, I believe, because it was a final. I'm sure it was a 12. I can't remember anyway. It was Wembley Arena, and after 9 rounds, I was like pleading with Gertnecht's corner to pull him. He had been punched to fuck by George Groves, and he was never going to quit. The man was tough as fuck, and no one thought to go, I think this needs to be stopped.
Not coming back.
Now, as far as I'm aware, I don't speak German. I'm not Dave Allen, but I don't believe he said like get me out or anything. But the decision wasn't made. He was 9 rounds down, and took 3 more rounds of punishment. To the fact after the fight he slipped into a coma. I don't believe to this day he's right. I'm sure this is 2 years ago. And that's long-term health, right? Now, I know it's not the same because Bakole wasn't 8 rounds down and getting butchered. But I want some compassion, man. Live to fight another day. What if after that fight he goes, I don't trust you anymore? Because I don't. When I feel like I'm done, you pushed me. You forced me.
He's up to fighter, yeah, because knowing a person, if I was ever to say to Al, I'm done, he'd know that there's something wrong here.
Because it's not something.
I'd rather get beat up than quit. Like, literally, my last sparring session, both my hands went in the second round, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother saying anything, and I'll just finish the fucking rounds coming out of hands like balloons. Because if I'd have said, Al, my hands are gone, he'd have been like, nah, no more, it's too much.
Yeah.
So
is that before you decided you had to retire, you mean?
It had been happening, and then I sort of was trying to lie about it. I'd had the 5 months out, and then went back, did my first fight. I actually did 8 rounds. I did something like 4 with Shaq, 2 with Campbell, 2 with fucking someone else. I did all the fucking rounds that day, and in the first 2 rounds my hands went, and I thought, if I tell Alec, because we knew about my hands, that my hands have just gone, That's it. I've been out for 5 months. My hand should have recovered by now. If they're not recovered now, you're over, son. And after I was like, oh, mate. Took my gloves off and my hand went poof, and he went, it's over, son. Your career's done. So I knew at that time, so...
I think the cornerman should know the fighter.
Yeah.
They know when enough is enough.
If he's in... But he might be in the gym at round 3 going, oh, fucked.
Yeah, that's also true.
Go, trust up, Wingy, and get on with it.
That's also
Some boys
true.
need to be pushed, whereas other boys, they'll never quit. Like, I would never have said... I would never have done it. I would rather just get...
But who would have thought Guillermo Rigondo would have said, I quit? Which he did.
He's done all his work in the gym every day.
The man was a 3-time Olympian or something, like world champion, like all these, and he said against Lomachenko, "I've had enough. I'm done." Now his was
Harrison was an Olympic champion. I could imagine him fucking quitting on a daily basis because he's losing at Monopoly.
Yeah.
Quick, help me!
I think he even tried. I mean, he was getting outskilled in every round.
Yeah.
At Coinage.
Who, Rigondo?
Rigondo,
yeah.
And he just gave up. I don't think he was hurt.
No.
He weren't scared though. He was embarrassed.
He was embarrassed.
He was a bit beat up last night, thinking, "I'm going to get beat up. You need to help me. I'm hurt."
Yeah.
Whereas Rigondo was just like, "Do you know what? Fuck this. This is embarrassing.
Fuck this."
That's the nightmare, though. That is the nightmare. Is there anything when you're boxing? Honestly, what is the biggest fear?
Biggest fear for me is touching the floor.
Is that your biggest?
Is that what you're scared about the most?
Yeah. I'll be.
Why? What, embarrassment or
embarrassment? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you not rather get sparked out one punch, boom, not your fault, you just got knocked out, he's a big puncher, or completely outclassed, you miss every punch and he's battering you from pillar to post for fucking 8 rounds? And every time, of all your friends that have known you your whole life, have known you as a boxer, every time you throw a jab you're missing, and then he's hitting you twice. Then you throw 1-2 and you're missing, and he's hitting you 3 or 4 times. His hands are down, he's poking his tongue out, he's jabbing, he's moving, he's laughing. People are pointing at you, people are laughing, you're crying, people are getting jabbed.
Jesus Christ! Paints a picture, didn't it?
I wouldn't want to pick none of them, but if I had to pick, then I'd rather get beaten up for the whole fight rather than get knocked out and touching the ground. I wouldn't want to get dropped.
Mad.
Nah.
You'd rather like a 120, 108 or 110, 100.
At least I know I tried my best.
Or 190.
Yeah. I'd rather just get iced and be like,
nah,
mate.
It's all over,
It's quickly get overdone with.
Yeah.
I get,
I don't mind losing, getting beat up, but like getting completely schooled, like Rigondo got by Lomachenko, I think that is like the fear.
For you?
Yeah,
for him, he don't want his gloves to touch the floor. Isn't that, isn't it? Crazy. Different people, mate. Different strokes for different folks. Just Billy Nelson didn't help himself. That's the biggest thing, because he's been saying Joyce ain't ready for this work. Dave Allen don't want this shit. But naming every heavyweight in the country and saying that Bakole wipes the floor with him. Yeah. You made it hard for him, is what you did, because you said too much. He spoke too much. The
problem is now that's going to be a thing. That's a thing now. That's a thing. Do you remember when he lost the quit?
Well, he sparred AJ and it was, he's been giving AJ hell. Maybe he did. But when it got going, it didn't work for him. Bakole wasn't there, but you built him up to be this fucking monster. And there's a fine line between getting the correct promotion, like you said about Chapman earlier. Let's know who he is, you know. But then when you go too far, people can use that against you, and you look like a bell end. Do you know what I mean? And it happened with Prince Brady. On a small horsing,
everyone's been saying about how
he's hashtagging every belt and gets sparked out. It doesn't.
Everyone's saying about how his promotion's been great. I didn't see him or know him until last night.
You don't follow Billy Nelson. Billy Nelson has been, I'm talking about 18 months on a daily basis, banging the drum.
Are you happy that you follow Billy Nelson, the one that put his lamb out there for the slaughter? Good choice, bro. Good choice.
I did unfollow him once because he was slagging off England at the World Cup. This is coming from a Scotsman. Fuck me. But yeah, no, I don't know. It wasn't nice to see a big man like Martin Bakole in that situation. That's
not nice. No, it's not. Listen, he's got to the point where he's thought, "Oh, mate, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't." Yeah. And he must have been feeling a certain way to feel that way. So the corner could have handled it differently. Like I say, ask him.
Maybe that's an excuse to get out. I mean, look at Isaac Chamberlain.
Isaac threw it back in
and carried on fighting.
That was one of the best fights I've ever seen. Him and Waddy.
But it's happened loads of times. Danny Williams done it once, didn't he?
And then he got the knockout.
Against Mark Potter. Mark the Shark.
Yeah. And then he got that one shot knockout.
One shot knockout.
Honey punch. Bam.
So is it? So are we really
at heavyweight as well?
So
yeah.
Are we? Listen, it looked fucking terrible. He looked in a bad place. So mentally, like you say, he checked out. He didn't want to fight no more. He's done. So the corner said, "Listen, if you're down, I'm pulling you out. That's it. You can't change your mind." But is that because now we've spoke about it's bad for the coach, but now we've looked back and reflected on other fighters that have done the same and then won. Is it really that bad?
Yeah. Every situation is different, isn't it? And it's also what suits your rhetoric, whatever suits people that hate Billy Nelson can use this against him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people that like him will say the same. They'll go, he was trying to back his fighter. He was trying. So it's just my personal thing. It looked sad. It made me sad seeing a man like that physically wanting out and not being able to get out. And then
you don't see it in a fighter often, do you?
No, you don't. But then because he got sparked out so badly, like it then looks worse, doesn't it? If it just gone 10 rounds, he lost on points.
Out, did he?
Mate, his head was getting.
No,
not on punches. He took a lot of shots. He got stopped.
Yeah,
but
it never looks good when you get it with combinations like that and stop. So
I don't know. Maybe I would have liked to see Billy pull him out. Well, I would have at that point. But then if it goes 10 rounds and then he gets a fucking mad decision, then he's done the right thing, and it's difficult. I guess he knew him better than we do.
Yeah,
that's all we can say. He knows Bakole better than I do.
Or he's supposed to know him better than we do.
Yeah. Mate, there's loads of questions. How far in are we? Let's check how far in we are. That's an hour in, and we've really not touched on any of the boxing last night. I tell you what we'll do. We'll run through the Matchroom card. What are you pointing at?
I thought you'd started that randomly, like with a gap.
No. Straight after
that.
Yeah. You leave the technical shit to me. Not that I know what I'm doing really, but right, we'll go through the Matchroom card. That was a stacked bill, you know. It was like fucking 5 hours of fights on that. So I've
watched clips of some of the fights.
I got home from Tottenham. I got in about 12. Started watching the boxing about 1. I was up to 3:30, 4, watching all the different boxing before I got up at fucking 8 o'clock for kids football. So I can't remember all of it. We'll go through the talking points on the Matchroom show. The main bits. Dave Allen, first round stoppage of.
No, my favourite
bit
about that was where he said he speaks German in the press conference.
Yeah, not the fight itself. You didn't care.
No, listen, the fight was alright, but come on, that was fucking hilarious. And then he did some Superman thing after his fight.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Did you see what he wore to the weigh-in as well? The gold hot pants.
Yeah, he's a clown.
He's a bit of a character.
Yeah, he does make me laugh.
He does like that in sport.
Yeah.
Different entertainment.
Mate, the following he's got.
Yeah,
like,
he's doing it. He's making it entertaining without talking shit. Without
he
throwing
tables
at
at
anyone. He's not throwing drinks at anyone. People like him. He's funny and he's real.
Yeah, it's true.
He says some weird shit, and that's what's fucking funny.
Yeah, one of the questions was about him. It might have been one of Lou Smith's many questions. Lucas Brown is obviously the talk.
I mean, it was. Lou sent in 60.
Yeah, about that. No, I think it might have been him. It might have been someone else. There are too many. It is that Lou Smith. What's your views on the new Dave Allen, and what do you think of a fight with him and Lucas Brown? What do you think, Lucas Brown, Dave Allen?
He's not young anymore, though, is he?
Lucas Brown was never young. That cunt.
That's what
he started boxing at like 30.
Why is that not a bad fight, eh?
It's not a bad fight.
Why not, eh? Why not? I don't know what Lucas Brown been doing for a while. I haven't seen him.
So since Dillian White put him to sleep, he won a fight the other day against a man who didn't look in the peak physical condition.
So yeah, why not? Yeah, definitely. Why not? And if he wins it, it's kind of moving forward, I suppose. Not backwards.
It'll rank him. Yeah,
it'll rank him.
It'll move forward.
I mean, listen, we all know he is what he is, but like Lucas Brown is what he is, but it's a good step in the right direction.
The question I have is, now that Hughie Fury's boxing Pulev in a fortnight, what's happening with the British? I don't think it's been vacated by Hughie just yet, but maybe they could get Dave Allen ready to fight for the British. What other Brits are on that level? Like Dillian White, way beyond it. Joe Joyce, beyond it. Who's at British level who wants to fight for the British title?
What's Dubois doing nowadays?
Dubois, Gorman. I don't think Dave Allen would box Gorman. They're friends, but for the British, he probably would. So I'd still position him for the British. I would, but then he's going to get a big payday against Lucas Brown. It's whatever he wants to do because he sells so many tickets. Eddie believes in him. He believes in his personality.
People buy from people, and that's what it is. Dave Allen's something people relate to. They like him. He's not fake. He's what he is, and he's
a good bloke.
It works. It works.
It works.
I think he's like the new Ricky Hatton, if you like. At the time when Ricky Hatton was about, he was like people like he's not acting like a superstar. He's being man of the people, if you like. And Dave Allen does a very similar role. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't try and be something he's not, and I think that's what people are attracted about him as a boxer.
Yeah. Who else? Buatsi. See Buatsi?
No.
Did you see any Buatsi?
Nah. But I know what he's about, man.
Buatsi stopped Tony Avalon in the first round. And Tony Avalon went 7 rounds with Anthony Yard like 6 months ago. So there's this, mate. That was one of the questions. Is if you could make any domestic fight, what fight would it be? If it was up to me today, I'd make Joshua Buatsi against Anthony Yard. Fuck me. Can you imagine that fight?
That'd be a good fight, man.
How do you see that? How would you see that going?
It'd be hard to pick out them two, man. For me, I've seen more of Ant in the yard. I've seen him about in the gym down Peacocks a few times, train down there alongside him and stuff. So I've seen what he's capable of, and I know he's sharp. But then Buatsi is, oh man, he's another problem. So it'll be a good fight. It's hard. I'm sitting on the fence. I can't even pick.
He's basically told us everything we know, that they're both good.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Buatsi is slicker, and I think his punching power is probably underrated because he doesn't possess these big muscles that Yard has. Yard is aesthetically pleasing, and you look at him, you go, "Fucking hell, he's in it."
Just don't do it for me, Yard. You just don't do it for me.
No.
He's clearly good at what he does, clearly, but if I don't know if I'd be bothered to tune in if he had a big fight. I'd be like,
really?
Yeah, you just don't do it for me.
I find him entertaining.
You just don't do it for me. Maybe it's because of I don't know what it is. I just some people. I'd much rather tune in to watch Dave Allen any day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
He makes me smile with his stuff, and I think he's fairly entertaining with his boxing. I just don't do it for me.
I'm in the same boat as many. He's fighting next Saturday in Brentwood against another guy that. Yeah.
Oh right.
He's fighting another guy that he should beat.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm more than ready for Andy Yard to have a test.
Maybe
maybe
the problem is that sometimes you can be bashing the life out of everyone just because you're so good. That is not beyond the realm of possibility. That's a thing, but you do want to see him in a few entertaining fights.
I want to see Yard tested.
It's
now.
not about I just want to see him in a real battle. Do you know what I mean? And see what he's got, if you like. I don't know. I'm just being a fucking horrible bastard, to be honest with you.
No, but there's a lot of people feeling like that. There is a lot of people feeling like that.
I just don't get it. Like I don't do it for me.
I think you're right. He needs a little test to see how good he really is.
Why you got two phones? One for your birds and
I
one
got
for your
two
actual birds.
phones. One for the bird, one for the little. Do you remember that tune?
Is it a dog's phone or a bird's phone?
My other phone's there.
Don't answer that.
Do you know it's both phones they broke? This one can't charge, and then this one can't do other stuff that this one can. So
this one can't take side bay.
I'm trying to make it sound good. That's my excuse.
One's white, one's black. Is it white girls, black girls?
Man needs variety, you know. He's about to be a champion.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
And I'm about to get the third one when I get the title.
A little light skin one. We've gone way off topic.
No, not at the moment.
We're only joking.
Dear. Rest of the Matchroom card. Lewis Ritson's the big talking point. As I said earlier, 66-1 on to win that European title, and he got beat on a split. It was 116-112 on all three judges' scorecards, 1 to him, 2 to the other. From what I saw and everyone else saw, he lost the fight. There was someone asked me, and I can't remember. Do you know what? Because I've got these two Twitter accounts, I lose where the questions come in.
You know your two Twitter accounts.
And you said I got two
mine
phones.
Mine and Fight Talks.
So who do I take?
Yeah, you got mine and you got the Fight Talk
Do I
page.
tag you both?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes I put Sam in, sometimes I put Fight Talk.
Yeah, so either way, so one of the questions is, was Ritson rushed? No, he wasn't, because he blew through everyone domestically in like 4 rounds or some shit, wasn't it? He won it outright in 4 or 5 rounds, knocking everyone out. That was for the European title. He lost. He's 24 years old. So what? Like, some people, again, this is people's, like, they're now using...
lost, retire.
Well, they're using it against Eddie now, and you see and they go, oh, you know, maybe he weren't as good as Eddie said. Maybe he weren't. But he lost.
Well, maybe he was, but he just lost.
Fuck me. Like, Patera, he fought Dodd. He got beat off Dodd, which, that don't look good. But I just think, just give him a... Like, he was small hall 2 years ago. He's now fought for the British, for the European, selling out an arena in his hometown, and got beat, bro. It's alright. He'll come and do it again. Like, he'll come back. There's no rush,
nothing wrong with losing. I mean, no fight was a lose, but...
Unless he touches down, then he's a wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what that means.
But I mean, retire, he touched the floor.
Nah, yeah,
I don't think
I'm sure that glove touched down. Yeah, 24 years old.
He's young. That's too young to retire.
European title fight.
What weight is he?
He lost. He's a lightweight. He's the lightweight British champion. British and Commonwealth. Tried the European, lost. It's alright.
Cool. Rebuild with another guy.
Yeah.
Or go another route.
Yeah. Or go another route. Or get a softer challenge for the belt at least. Because Patera's a good man. Tough guy. And he outworked him. I think he kind of neglected the jab after 3 or 4 rounds, Ritson, from what I saw. So, yeah. He'll come again, though. He'll come again, man. Let's fire off some of the other questions before we finish up with Ryan. Alright, first question from another question from Lou Smith, really. What's your thoughts on Rocky Fielding against Canelo Alvarez?
Right, listen. Rocky's a big boy. Isn't he?
He's huge.
What weight is he?
He's super middle.
He's super middle.
Canelo's stepping up to him.
So everyone's saying that he's stepping up to super middle. Wasn't Canelo super welterweight?
Yes, he boxed Mayweather.
So he's actually stepped up 2 weight divisions.
Well, no, because he's just won the middleweight, isn't he?
Yeah, I know, but he
stepped up in his career.
If he stepped up to middleweight.
No. So when he boxed Chavez Jr., he boxed at what they call Canelo weight, which is Canelo weight is
between middleweight and light middleweight.
No, between middleweight and super middleweight. Because he's that big now. Don't forget he's been eating beef for a long time.
Listen, my point is that he's boxed at light middle or super welterweight.
Yeah, but he's been a pro since he was 13 years old.
Yeah, I get
so
that.
He's now going to box against a big super middle, right? 168, which he's never boxed at before, I believe.
But he's a lot better than him.
He's a lot better
than him. So
the
only chance Rocky's got is can he out-big him?
Yeah, can he? And he can't. Not for 12
probably
rounds.
not.
I don't have any problem with Rocky Fielding going for it. Big payday. He's going to share the ring with a guy in the top 3 or 4 pound for pound. It's in
Brentwood.
Canelo is coming to Brentwood. Yes, it's in America somewhere.
Okay.
December
This is a tick-over fight for Canelo.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
But listen,
after the
I'm
2 Canelo Golovkin fights, right?
I'm not mad about Rocky taking it.
I'm not.
So I'm okay with it. Don't think he'll win, but I'm okay with it.
I mean, you never know. You could.
Crazy. Listen,
anything
crazy
can happen in boxing.
things have happened. So
anything could happen.
Listen, it can definitely happen. 100%. You're right.
But for me, Canelo's too skillful, man. I think he's one of the best fighters out there at the moment.
Oh, he's so epic.
You know that saying, a good big man beats a good little man?
No, but he's a really
what about a good big man fights an amazing little man? Like he's not even little, but let's just not forget what Pacquiao did to Margarito.
And what I did to you out in the garden.
But you're the bigger man.
Well, still, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to put it in there. But you openly admit that you lost there, which is finally progression.
At the time, not now. You're a bum, but at the time you were a trained athlete. So yeah, you beat me up. It is what it is. You bit me. You were a street fighter, but it is what it is. You won. But poor Rocky Fielding, man, he bit me, bro. He bit my chest. Imagine that.
I'm not like that. I wouldn't do that.
It's not true. Rocky Fielding, fair play. Like this is. It's a WBA regular title. I don't class him as a world champion anyway. It's the belt that Callum Smith now holds after beating up George Groves for it. Would Canelo have stepped up to super middle to fight Callum Smith? That's a different question. Probably not. So it is. I guess it's a tick over fight, isn't it? I guess.
That's how I see it, man. Canelo is too skillful. I think it will piss for it.
Yeah, I agree. I see it going the same way. Another question from Lou Smith. This is a good fight.
Who?
This is a good question. Lou Smith. This is a good question, but it's also one that I couldn't give a fuck about, and he kind of says it in himself. Kell Brook was asked again last night about the Amir Khan fight, but is it time we accept the fight won't happen? What, Ryan? You tell me. I've said it in detail about what I think about this fight. Yourself personally, Khan and Kell Brook, is it a big fight? Do you care? Do you want to see it? What's your thoughts?
I want to see it because but for me, I think their styles clash, but they're delaying it a bit too long now. I think it needs to happen. Nah, if you leave it another year or 2, then it'll be too late.
I mean, the stipulation that Khan apparently has put in, he wants to do it at welterweight, 147, with a hydration limit, a max of 10 pounds on fight day. Now, I don't particularly like either of them. Like, I respect them both. Don't get me wrong. I don't particularly like them either of them. I think they're both fucking wallies in their own way. But Kell Brook is 100% right. If it ain't for a world title, you don't get to say what I weigh in on the fight. What kind of bullshit is that? You don't get to decide that. It's not for a world title. It's a Battle of Britain, which he let us know last night. It's the Battle of Britain. Let's do it. I mean, come we can do it anyway. Fucking. It's like,
good. That.
It's like I've been practicing good. That.
No, that was good.
It's not for the IBF. There's no check weight. You don't get to tell me. I mean, let's do it, baby. Don't be docking me. I agree with him. If you're gonna fight, just fucking fight. I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear any more until they're standing there.
They're both irrelevant.
They are.
This is the most relevant they can be. This is the most relevant.
If one of them was a champion and they had a title, then yeah.
I don't even care. No, I don't think anyone would care. I think right now everyone's moved on with their lives. Moved on with everything else happening in boxing. Them two are still there, like, yeah, we're doing this, and everyone's like, what?
Do you remember when we waited 4 years for Mayweather McGregor, Mayweather Pacquiao, right? At least they were 2 of the best fighters of our generation at that time.
Yeah.
These 2 ain't, man. Don't get me wrong, Amir Khan has boxed everyone and never ducked a fight. Like, never. But he's never going to be remembered in the top 5 of his generation or whatever. So just get the fight done, please. You're boring me. I don't care. I don't care.
Fight for both of you two, not for us now. Do it for you two.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can get over it.
They'll put it on at Sheffield or Manchester or Bolton, and it will sell out, and it will be built up.
I think they'll need to put other fights on there now, though.
Yeah.
I think they'll need to pick it out with other fights. I don't.
Dave Allen will be on undercard.
They'll need someone like that to sell it out.
Yeah.
I don't think people. I think if you just put them in a load of people that people didn't really bother about, I don't think it'd sell that well.
No.
I think you've got to put another kind of okay kind of fight, if you like.
Yeah, it's not a fight that I
hope they bash the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
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 Amir Khan going down 3 or 4
Did you see what he said last night, Kelbrook, by the way? His words were, I got beat twice, but my eye gave up in both fights, so have I really lost? Those were his words.
What happens in a fight?
Yeah.
You know? Did your eye give up or did he crush it
Yeah,
in?
yeah, he crushed. I mean, Golovkin took part of your soul. Errol Spence finished the job.
The crazy thing about Golovkin, when people will go in, Kelbrook will throw a fucking one shot and go, oh my god, he's landing! Like, Kelbrook might win this.
Everyone goes back to that uppercut. It moved him, that uppercut. It immediately got punched in the face.
If anything, it was Golovkin throwing his head back to laugh, going, nah! Like, come on, people.
I think that fight changed him, though. After that fight,
I agree.
The same person.
I agree. Fight changed him. And then
he beat his soul out of him. That's why.
You know, this talk about Bakole and quitting. If you look at the Errol Spence fight, he was on one knee and he was dabbing his eye, and yeah, it turned out his orbital was gone. But he said no more, didn't he? Kelbrook did. So it happens. Even people that he was a world title, that was his.
Yeah,
that was his world title.
See, listen, things feel different ways to people. Again, the same as everything's different. People complain about perforated eardrums. I don't think that hurts at all. So you don't know. Everyone feels things differently. So you,
especially when you're in a big fight as well.
Yeah, some people break their nose, and you see them go rounds, but then other people break their nose and like, yeah, fuck that, I'm done.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone's pain threshold is different as well, and some things that hurt someone won't hurt someone, and vice versa. So
yeah, when I spoke to Jamani today, I said to him, "Oh, and your nose went." He went, "Yeah, it always goes." Like it's just used to it, and it had no bearing on
when
anything.
It's something like your eye, I think, like he says, he thinks it's a rare thing to happen in a fight to get your eye smashed in. So I think he's feeling it's a bit. I was a bit hard done by, but it wasn't my fault. Like, whose eye even goes that way? No one's does that. So
yeah.
But no, listen, Kel.
Yeah.
Give it a rest.
Don't care about that fight.
I want Khan to bash, like, ping his face off for the whole fight, and then every now and then him drop Khan.
Every now and then.
Yeah, like one every other round or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
I want them to have a fight like who's the boxer, the American who's now does acting? He's in the Expendables. One that headbutted fucking Mayweather.
Oh, Ortiz.
Ortiz and Maidana.
Victor Ortiz.
That's my favourite fight. Victor Ortiz Maidana. It's my favourite fight. It went about 7 rounds. They both went down every round, I think. A couple of rounds they both went down.
Better than Castillo Corrales.
Listen,
that
trust
was the
me,
fight, man.
And in the end, one of them goes, "Yeah, I'm done. Like, I've had enough. Like, I've been down 4, 5, 6, 7 times. My eye's gone. My face is gone. I'm done." And he quit.
That's like that Victor Ortiz and that Andre Berto, I think his name was, and they're both knocking each other down. If I'm right.
Ortiz, maybe
Ortiz, he gets knocked down a lot.
Yeah, do you remember when Ortiz threw the nut in on Mayweather?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It was a massive headbutt. It was worth it. And then Mayweather fucking stopped him while he was trying to touch gloves.
That was a weird situation.
That was weird.
Looking,
Joe Cortez weren't looking. It was
weird.
Mental.
But listen, Mayweather was going to win the fight anyway.
Yeah. Final question we're going to mention before we talk about Ryan. Paul Altai said, if Umar Sadiq beats Zach Chelly next week, does he need to be fast-tracked because of his age? On the other hand...
How old is he?
30. Umar's 30, yeah. On the other hand, when Chelly beats Umar, what level does that put him at? First of all, very good fight. For a 3-0 and a 4-0, I mean...
Why are they doing this?
Umar's Russian. He's 30 years old. He doesn't want to wait.
Don't look Russian to me.
He is Russian, yeah. His middle name is Nurmagomedov. It's Umar Nurmagomedov Sadiq. True story. He's Russian, yeah. He's not messing about. And he shares a gym with Lawrence Okoli, who is, although he's blocked me this week on Twitter, cheers, mate. Much appreciated.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. His career path is, not like the others. So I guess that played a part. And he's been calling... He wanted Darryl Williams in his third fight for the English. So
I remember that, yeah.
He's not fucking about. He wants the fights.
But didn't Darryl Williams say, mate...
He said, who are you, basically?
Who are you? Which
yeah.
I get it. I'm thinking the same. I love what he does. I think he's brilliant at what he does because he's mate... But I don't think he's done enough boxing yet to justify wanting the fights that he's wanting.
I get you. For me, Zach Chelly is a massive risk. And who knows how much reward.
Someone's going to lose. But
well, yeah, that's usually what happens.
Could be a draw.
Could be a draw.
But what I'm saying is they can still come back from it.
Yeah. I'm mate, 3-0 and 4-0. Chelly's really young. I think he's like 21, 22. I mean, his dad has more faith in him than most people have in in anyone. He believes in his son. It's a good fight. It's a really good fight. That's at Brentwood. That's on the Anthony Yard card next Saturday. It's the main event, if you ask me. I know Anthony Yard is. And, Bradley Skeet's boxing as well. But Chelly and Umar is the fight that I'm looking forward to seeing. Where do they go from here? Maybe they could be fast-tracked. The English looks like it's going to become vacant because the English champion Darryl Williams is boxing Zach Parker on the 3rd of November in Scotland for the British. So, maybe the winner of this could fight for the English. Good fight, though. Good fight. Who do you fancy, Sadiq or Chelly?
Sadiq's my guy, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. See
what he's done. He did what I do. He's my guy, innit? He's got to win it. That's what I do.
I ain't even seen his opponent fight, so I know Sadiq. I know he trains hard and he takes
he's
it
a
serious.
grafter, and yeah, he is. He's in tremendous shape, and he does things right. What about you? Are you going to that?
When is it?
Next Saturday at Brentwood.
What show is it?
Frank Warren.
Are you going?
I'll find out on Monday or Tuesday. I've applied for
Let
media.
me know then.
Well, let you know if I'm going.
If we're going.
If we're going, I only applied for me.
No, you didn't.
I'm on my life.
We're a team.
No, but you said, see, you were meant to come Saturday. I put us both down. You didn't show up, and that makes me look bad.
Don't play me like that. Don't play me like that.
I mean, it happened, right?
Don't play me
It
like
happened,
that.
right?
Don't play me like that. I bought extra people last time, so does that not make up for it?
No, it doesn't. Right, let's talk about Ryan. Let's close the book. Ryan Walker, you are fighting for the English Super Bantamweight title, 17th of November, right?
17th November, yep.
Michael Ramabalaksa.
Yep.
He's experienced. My next victim, I like that. He's experienced as fuck. Was he 32, 33 fights?
Yeah, he's had a lot.
He's like 16 and 16 or 16 and 17, something like that. He's had a lot of fights. First of all, let's go back a little bit leading up to there. You touched briefly on your amateur stuff and that. When you turned pro, all that kind of stuff.
Before I turned pro, I had about 26 amateur fights, as I said. But since I turned pro, it's been hard coming up. I mean, I think I met Sam on my pro debut. Yeah, it was. But before that, I was meant to have my pro debut before that, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, because at that time you was training in Peter Sim's gym, innit?
Yeah, that's it. Actually,
and I met you down there before your pro debut.
Yeah. And then the fight didn't happen because I didn't sell enough tickets to get onto the show. So then I went onto a smaller hall show, and that was at Gray's Essex. That's where I had my pro debut there. That
show was Carl Greaves. I think it was his last ever show in Essex. He ran a show of 4 rounders, and he said to me, "Will you do like the post fight interviews ringside afterwards just to kill some time?" And I was like, "All right." So I just stood there with my camera with a micro. It was mad. It didn't work, but he ran it because he knew the boys would have lost. But basically wouldn't have had the opportunity to fight, so he just put it on. He knew he was going to lose
Who
money.
you signed with?
There was signed with. I've got a promoter. I've got a manager. Mickey Emu.
Okay.
My manager.
Same manager as all the boys, like the.
Yeah, we've got Rams, Mahmood. We've got Reddy and Freddie Quit. Richie Comey. He's got a big fight coming up soon.
Yeah. Is that over in America, isn't it?
Yeah, in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richie Comey.
Duke Mika.
Yeah.
But yeah, big stable of fighters. Soon gonna be.
So you boxed on Goodwin. Since that first fight, have you been on only Goodwins? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, after my pro debut, I've been on Goodwin shows since then.
So what changed because you couldn't get on for your debut because you didn't sell enough tickets?
Yeah.
So what changed? How did you manage to turn it around that you sell enough tickets now?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Funny enough, now my tickets sold easy, and my next fight is going to be sold out. But I was never a ticket seller coming up. The sport is hard. You got to sell tickets to get onto these shows where there's no TV.
How many tickets you do usually?
On a normal, I'll do.
He done 6,000 for his last one.
You can lie on here and tell me the truth after.
Nah, on a normal, I'll do 120.
Yep.
That's normal.
As a standard.
Yeah,
sort
standard.
Of number,
Yeah. This next fight will be much more.
What about your first one then? Because that.
Funny enough, the one that I got pulled off, I done like 50 tickets, and I still had a week to go. And they said to me, "Nah, there's no point. You're not even. You might just about break even, or not even that. So there's no point." So I got pulled off. And then for my pro debut, the one at Gray's, funny enough, I don't know how, but that sold more. I've done about 80.
What did you do different?
What did I do different? I think that time I just went all out and I spoke to everyone. I made sure
I
everyone came back. I forced them.
I need you now.
I was posting tickets for the letterbox before they paid me. I said, "Yeah, oh, you owe me money now."
That's a good way to do it. I like that. Bro, did you go?
Take this. You owe me money.
Did you check? Yeah, I got some posts. Cheers, bro. You owe me 60 quid. I see it. standard. I like that.
But yeah, I really forced it because I wanted it to happen so much. I was gutted when my first fight didn't happen because I trained so hard for it, and then the week before to pull out because I didn't do tickets, I thought, I wanted to quit boxing.
It can be such a shit game, innit? That actually has to be in someone's mind. Like, crazy. It's crazy. But so you moved on from there.
Yeah.
Just talk about your pro debut. Actually, your people were mental.
Oh, it's crazy.
They went crazy.
After I won the fight, all my people jumped to the ring. They jumped over the judges.
All the inspectors, everyone's going mad.
All over the tables.
They were
jumped
going
in
mad.
the ring, started jumping. Oh,
It's a good advert, bro.
They were going mental. His people. He was like, and what happened was because we then did the post-fight interview ringside, and his people jumped in again. So afterwards, Ryan went to me, bruv, can we redo that? Because my people were fucking idiots. They're crazy. They were that pumped for him. You know what? I thought it was a good thing, man. It was a positive. Like they were just showing so much love, but they didn't know how to control it.
It's a positive and a negative because it didn't look professional for me.
No, it didn't. It didn't. But
the hype of the first pro debut, there's such a buzz around it.
Yeah.
Everyone
especially after you losing the Goodwin, like the fight beforehand, it was like a relief.
Yeah, to finally get that fight.
Yeah.
Everyone just went crazy for me, man. And then ever since that, it's been up since then.
So let's talk about this specific fight. How much of Ramabalazzi have you seen?
I've seen him. I've only seen one fight of him live.
Kennedy?
Yeah, Josh Kennedy. And I think that was a tough fight.
Josh Kennedy, who just boxed for the European title on MTK last week. MTK in Box Nation. They gave it by a round, or was it a split to Kennedy? It was very close.
Yeah,
I gave it to Ramabalazzi by a round.
So did I. I thought he might have edged it
because he's got a very good work rate, and he was sticking it on him.
I think he dropped him. I think in like that.
He dropped him. He dropped him twice, and the ref gave one, and that would have made a massive difference. Why is this the right fight for you? Like, I know you want to progress. I know you want titles, but I would understand if someone with 8 fights went, this guy's had 3 times more than me, 4 times more than me. I'd understand if you didn't believe this is the correct fight at the correct time. Why do you believe it is?
I feel like I'm at the right stage now to progress onto bigger fights. I want to be in the 50-50 fights, and the ones that I've had so far has been a good experience, but I've been a bit too advanced for them. So I think I'm definitely at English level.
What's happening with the southern area? Because most boys are coming out of small hall will go southern area first. What is that at Super Bantam? I'm
not too sure, but I'm gonna let my teammate deal with that.
Ramez,
he's gonna take that over, so I'll leave that to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going straight for the English.
That featherweight title as well, man. That's been knocking about. The Jamie's had that for a long time. The southern area.
I think he might have vacated it. I'm not sure.
There's rumours.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that weird having a gym mate who's you're like the same weight? You both say you'll both do super bantam or you'll both do feather.
We could both go up and down. And
you see it with you see it with Linus and Brad. They're both middles and they're both just competing for the titles basically.
Yeah.
So it happens. What's it like sparring a guy like Ramez? Because obviously you guys spar a lot of rounds together.
Yeah. And Rams is tough. He's tough. We do rounds almost. We do so many rounds. I sparred him since the amateurs.
Have you?
Yeah. So.
Do you have the same club as amateurs?
Yeah, we both went to Gator, ABC. And then from there, ended up at the SW gym.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ilford. So, local boy. But yeah,
I thought Gator was...
Gator's Sims gym, innit?
Yeah, it's the same gym.
Same gym, innit?
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's like some little little industrial estate. I got lost finding that place like twice. It's a little industrial estate.
Yeah, in Hainault, I think it is.
Yeah, it's hard to find as well. Gator, ABC and Peter Sims gym, yeah.
Yeah, it's good down there as well. He's to spar Lucian Reed. I think he's fighting as well soon.
He's fighting Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday. Yeah.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Lucian's had a long time out, man. So as you look around your, domestically, you definitely believe that there's no guys you've missed on the way up. Do you know what I mean? Like fighting for the English, but the southern area didn't happen for whatever reason. But is there any other guys you'd like to have on your record, whether it's now or even down the line?
I just fight whoever's put in front of me. Whoever the opponent is, I don't care. I'm just there to fight. I just make sure I'm ready to fight. So it could be anyone. I don't pick people up.
No, you pick titles.
I just pick titles. That's it.
They've done well to get this match. It's vacant, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a vacant title. So it's not. It's
Michael
not
was next to fight for it,
and Kennedy pulled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kennedy pulled out, and he accepted me to take the fight.
He's probably looking at you going, he's 8-0. I've got the experience all over him. As you look at it, what's he good at?
He's good at. I think he's got a high work rate from what I last saw of him. But for me, that's nothing for me, man. I'll deal with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% confidence.
Confident.
I like that.
But I know he'll put up a test, so I'm not.
You're not coming to this either. You're in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And I might have to bring the kids. I found out today she's away on that weekend. It's the same day Waddy and Arfan are rematching for the Commonwealth.
Oh, that's another good fight as well.
Yeah, so I might have to bring the boys. The boys might have to become. I don't want to miss this one. Man, it just feels weird. Like I said, being at the pro debut and 2 years later you're fighting for the English. Yeah,
I said this to you a few weeks ago. Like Sam's was having a fucking bit of a day, weren't you? Where you did a podcast.
I had a little bit of a cry. Yeah,
a bit of a cry. And I said to people like
yeah.
myself, this is the same situation. Someone like Sam giving you interviews from the very first fucking day.
You know, and Sam was the only one that was interviewing me at that time.
Same for me. So you got two people here, the same thing. Like.
Yeah, it's mad. Like just that was probably your debut was the November 2016, right?
Yeah.
It was November 16, and we met a couple, like maybe a month or two before that, right?
Yeah.
And back then, I swear down, I was the only one doing any small hall stuff. And since then, you see them all coming. There's so many other guys that are getting involved, and it's good. Listen, it gives coverage to you boys, and that's what it was always about for me, innit? So, listen, it's good, man. But never forget, man. I was there.
I'm not gonna win the title, then you never see me again.
Yeah, innit? When you win the world title, when you're fighting for your first world title, I want you in here doing the podcast. That'd be good, man. No, it is good. It's good to see the progression. I like that's one of my favourite things about doing it. You know what I mean? Seeing someone, and you know what else is a big difference, Ryan? You and the camera, like you're never been like, you're not like brash and outspoken, but you'd ask a question and you'd sort of a couple words and that was it. But you can see how you progressed as well with the camera and the media side and
completely grown from the start.
Yeah, man, like massively
progression in all areas.
I think we did a post-fight interview and it was probably like 2 minutes long. Because he didn't elaborate. It's just like, yeah, I'm really happy. Do you know what I mean? It was.
That's just me. I've never really been a talker.
Yeah, but
I've always been a quiet person. I just like to keep busy in the ring.
Have you got used to this now? This whole media shit that you have to. No, you don't have to do it, but
it helps.
Nah, I still ain't got used to it.
Nah,
because I'm a fighter. I'm in it to fight. I'm not used to being in front of the cameras and talking, and it's stuff that I got to get used to. And I've got big plans after this fight, once I win the title, to go around and talk more and motivate other people. I want to go into different schools and there's different stuff I want to do. I've got big plans.
You've also done things that no one else has done. Do you remember your fight? What was it, your 5th fight, 6th fight? Maybe you asked me to commentate on it. I think you fought Eddie Bjorklund, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So he was fighting and one of the guys that works with him sort of came up to me, gave me like a little headset and just said, can you just commentate the fight? So I commentated the fight. I did a couple raps between rounds as I do, you know what I mean? I was throwing some bars.
If you heard what you're saying, I was busting up my head.
Between rounds, I gave raps for free. That's what I do, mate. I'm a total package. But no, it was good. So after the fight, obviously, his man put it together, a highlight reel with the commentary. Very good. Unique things that you always talk about. Do something unique. Umar's great at it.
Yeah, he does it well.
Umar's brilliant at it, yeah. So
I just thought to myself, no one does it, and I want to be different. There's so many boxers out there, and if no one's going to do it for me, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. I
like no one wants to do it for you, though, do they? That's the thing. You've got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
My own cameraman, my own commentator.
I'm employed by Ryan as his commentator now. That's good, man.
Shout out to my sponsor, Invisagex. They helped a lot with the videos. You probably see the quality's improved a lot.
Yeah.
So there's more stuff like that to come.
I said to you last night, the guy that comes out to the ring with you, did you say it's your brother?
My brother, yeah.
Have you seen this guy? Now, I reckon Hulk would be scared of him. Like, he's got muscles popping out of his muscles. Like, mate, why is your brother so big, bro? Does he live in the gym?
He does. He does bodybuilding.
My man is huge. I've never had the balls to say hello to him. Like, I know his brother well, and I'll be like, I see his brother. I'll just look down, man. This guy,
look him in the eye.
Like, he looks like he could carry 2 carpets under his under his arms. You know, he just walks like that. Massive guy. But
that's how I bring him to walk in the ring with me.
Just in case it pops off. This is my brother.
Yeah, make the opponent's not sure which one he's fighting, and you burn a lot of nervous energy off your opponent.
Yeah, that is the biggest guy I've ever seen. To be fair, your brother.
He's massive.
He is
massive.
Is he older than you?
Yeah, a couple of years older. But he trains hard and he...
You don't get in fights with him often.
I don't want to fight him.
You was like, no, I don't want to fight him.
What about as a kid? Was he always big as a kid?
Nah, he wasn't, funny enough.
Nah,
he used to be kind of slim. And then he started eating 10 times a day like a madman. Don't know how he done it, man. Just got massive.
Mad.
Now you clean his room and shit for him.
Yeah.
Bro, I paired up on his socks as well.
Yeah, dear. I cleaned your shoes. I know you didn't ask me to, but just remember, I cleaned your shoes. Now that I've said that, you watch people see him and go, that's the gaze they were talking about in the podcast. He's huge, man.
You see him at my next fight. He's always at my fights.
Yeah, he comes in the ring with you, holding the flag.
Yeah.
What's your... It's Jamaican, isn't it? Jamaican heritage.
British.
Jamaican and British.
Yeah. So I always represent every fight I go into. I make sure I got the flags to represent where I come from.
No, it's good, man. I like seeing your people. They've got good energy, man. It's always good to see.
Your people?
Yeah, your people.
What does that mean?
His crew, man. His clique.
Like that.
Your people.
Your people.
Yeah, when I say your people, I mean your crew.
No, sounds too late.
No, for fuck's sake. Where's my edit point?
Cut.
Yeah. the most racist point. When I say,
but you've seen there's loads of people now that come to my fights.
No, it's good.
It's all sorts
his
of
crew.
people.
They've got good. His crew now. I've changed it. It's still got in my head. Your people, your crew.
So your people, right?
Yeah. No, they come with good energy.
No, I know you mean they come with energy. They come with the whistle. They come with the whole lot. Yeah. It's different.
It is different. Feels like a carnival atmosphere. That we know. It's
do you know,
nice vibe.
I remember days being at your call and that, and you see people in the back with drums and shit like that. Get some of your people to bring drums.
Bringing that back.
Bring drums in, man. They used to sound the bollocks. You'd be like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And it used to get louder when fights would get busy. That was the bollocks.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good atmosphere. And 17th of November, mate. I can't wait. It should be fucking good. And I'm buzzing. You got that fight. And I'm very happy for you, mate. And I really hope it works out.
It's going to be good. But anyone that wants to come down, make sure you come down. Don't miss it. It's going to be a fight to remember.
What's all your socials? You got all your socials?
Yeah, I got my tickets on my website on teamfizz.com. That's
PHYZ. What is that? How have I never asked you?
I've been looking at that for like the last hour.
I've known him 2 years and I've never thought to ask, what does Team Fizz mean?
No one actually knows that, but everyone just shouts out Team Fizz.
You don't know.
No one knows. But basically, my name used to be called Physical when I was at school because I don't want to go into it, but I used to get into a lot of trouble and have fights and stuff. So my name was Physical. Then it got shortened because I was getting older. I can't go back saying my name's Physical. People look at me like, are you serious? So I just shortened it to Fizz. And then from that, I've had
I think his brother would be called Physical.
No, I can't see anyone getting physical with him though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, from that, my name got shortened to Fizz because I thought, okay, I can get away with that. It's more realistic for a grown man. So I thought, yeah, let me just work with that. And it's just stuck with me. And I've had a team of people around me, so people just shout out Team Fizz, and it's just stuck with me. And now I can't change it.
No, it's good. I like it.
Stuck.
I like it.
Team Fizz. It's good. It's got nice. Yeah, nice and deep, man. Nice little bellow to it. It's good. Final shout out. So Instagram, Team Fizz as well.
Yeah, Instagram is Team Fizz. On Twitter, I'm Lion Walker. But mainly I'm on Instagram. I keep active on that, so follow the Instagram. Always post regular. And yeah, just keep looking forward to what's to come.
Yeah, mate.
A lot of stuff coming.
You gave a shout out to your sponsors earlier. Just one more, I can't remember.
Yeah, shout out to my sponsors. I've got a few involved now. Shout out to Invarjex, my cameraman. Shout out to SWM, my management team. They're the one that got me the fight. So big thanks to them. Shout out to Sick. That's another one of my sponsors. Limitless. They've been there from day one. Shout out to them. Yeah, there's so many. Shout out to Arc. And yeah, that's all that. If I missed anyone, I'm
sorry.
Get a list,
but mate. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, there's too many to
on
remember.
The spot as well, and after you think, fuck, I forgot them.
But without them,
honestly, it's like like shit as well.
The sport is hard, man. And my supporters, massive thanks to my supporters that everyone buys tickets and comes down.
100%.
Without them, I wouldn't be getting.
If they're listening, your supporters listen to this 2 hours deep. They're buying tickets anyway. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely.
If they're going 2 hours deep into a podcast,
it's true. Nah, listen, man, it's been good. It's been good, and be a good fight. I look forward to it. Next Saturday, what are you doing? What are you doing, bruv? Move. The next podcast is Linus Shadofia. He was on New Age Boxing podcast last week, but I'm going to talk to him about stuff he didn't talk on that podcast, things he was telling us last night, little stories.
I look forward to seeing that.
I'm going to pull out the secrets of Linus, because we know he can fight. We know he wants to fight Tay. He's going to beat Tay up. He wants it in his head. So I'm going to get the fun stuff out of him. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. Like, what kind of pyjamas does he wear? What happens when he pulls up at traffic lights in South London? It's all going to come out in a fortnight, so look forward to that. And then Tay's on a week after that. So a lot of good shit to come. Thank you for listening to our ramblings. And this has been the Fight Talk Podcast.